Hi writers, today we're going to talk about making a location a character. Sometimes your location isn't going to be a character in your story, but there is advantages in doing this. So let's have a quick look. Remember, thumbs up helps everyone, helps you. YouTube will give you more of this sort of writing stuff and it helps me. It's a good pat on my back. So thank you in advance. Putting your location as a character, sorry about that. There's a lot of advantages in it. And location scouts do this, directors do this. The reason I came up with this idea, or the idea for this subject, I was watching Masterclass with Werner Herzog. And he was talking about the making of Fitzcarraldo. And Klaus Kinski wanted the picture of Machu Picchu behind him. And Werner was saying, no, that's a postcard. We don't want to have that in our shot. The character, the struggle, is the stairs up the side of the mountain. I'll see if I can get a shot and put it up here. That's the character. That's what Werner was saying. The location has to be a character in your story, an antagonist or a protagonist or an extra struggle. You need to use your locations in the best way. Think of a horror story. Think the settings of horror stories. Old cabins, deserted buildings, empty asylums. They're always a character. They're always scary. It's much harder to write a horror story, maybe this is a good challenge for the writers here, in a lovely, shiny shopping mall. You would have to come about with maybe some alternate thing where no one else can see the monster except for the protagonist and they're being chased and everyone else in the shopping centre can't see it. But shiny, plenty of light, plenty of visuals, plenty of sight lines, very hard to be snuck up on. That's not a great character for a horror story. So the character in a horror story, the location as a character, has to be oppressive. So what characteristics does a building have? So you say apartment block. Is it a modern apartment block? Is it sterile? Is it pristine? Does it feel surgical? Therefore it's soulless. Or is it one of those really cool old funky apartment blocks that might have been a match factory or a box factory? It's been turned into a set of apartments, so it's still very industrial with like pipeworks visible, and it's got that bohemian feel to it. So that will give you an instant visual. That will be a character, like introducing your character. It'll be like someone come up and goes, this is Steve. Steve lives in this funky apartment because Steve's really funky and an artistic sort of guy and is drawn to buildings like this. Think about what putting your location as a character into your story can do. Think of Alien. Alien set on a spaceship. Think of the spaceships that were in Star Wars, all shiny, white, very clinical, like a military vessel. And 2001, same thing. Ultra shiny, sleek surfaces, looked like had no character, no soul. So to make Alien even scarier, they made it like a gothic horror. If you look at that, and I like to think of Ridley Scott as the guy that has shit in the air all the time, there was steam and chains hanging down and that sort of stuff. So it made it like a gothic horror film. It could have been on the inside of a castle. So he brought that horror genre and the location of horror to Alien, and the ship became a character in the story. That's what I'm saying. So we've got the gothic horror. Now, if you're going to do this, I've just got some notes down here. Sorry if I'm looking down. Think of the conventions of the genre you are writing in. A detective story, a drama, a buddy cop, a rom-com. Can you add new complexity, new change, something a bit different by moving it somewhere else? Could you have a rom-com in a jungle? Well, that would be Romancing the Stone. Could you have a rom-com in a horror type setting? Could you have a rom-com during a war? Could you have a rom-com in the West? Could you have basically a Western story set in a horror, which is probably heaps of those. I can't think of it on the top of my head. But can you push different genres together, but bring the second genre in as the location? It's just a thought. It's something worth looking at. But think of your location as a character. Thank you for everyone who's been doing this. That's amazing. It's a really big help, and I love the comments and going back and forth with people, with the writers here. T-shirts are available, book, and for you, and I make no money for this, 20% off Write a Duet. we'll put it on that side. 20% off Write a Duet. Just put the code in and you get the discount. And until next time, guys, keep writing. Bye.